In this tutorial, we are discussing about how to use the synchronized methods and blocks. First of all, what is synchronized method in Java? If we declare any method as synchronized, it is known as synchronized method. Synchronized method is used to lock an object for any shared resource. Whenever we want to lock the shared resource or we want to lock the object of a shared resource in a method, then we use the synchronized method. When a thread invokes a synchronized method, it automatically acquires the lock for that object and it releases only when the thread completes its task. After the thread completes its task, we can release the method or we can release the thread. Let's discuss about the concept of lock in Java. Synchronization is built around an internal entity which is known as block, lock or monitor. We can also consider lock as a monitor. So what happens with lock? Every object has a lock associated with it. By convention, a thread that needs consistent access to an object field has to acquire the object lock before accessing them and then release the lock when it's done with them. Let's discuss about the synchronized block. Synchronized block can be used to perform synchronization on any specific resources of the method. Suppose we have 50 lines of code in our method, but if we want to synchronize only 5 lines, so we can use the synchronized block. Synchronized block is used for the short computing. If we put all the codes of the method inside the synchronized block, then it will work same as the synchronized method. Here is the syntax of synchronized block. First of all, we write the modifier name as synchronized and then in bracket we write object reference expression and then curly braces. Inside curly braces we write the code block and then close the curly braces. Here are some points to remember about the synchronized block. Synchronized block is used to lock an object for any shared resources. If we want to lock the object for any shared resources, we can use synchronized block. The second thing is the scope of synchronized block is smaller than the method. We all know that synchronized block is used for short computing, so its scope is also smaller than the method. Let's see the code how we can implement the synchronized block and synchronized method in Java. The test synchronization block. First of all, we create a table that is class table and inside it we create a method that is point void print table and we take a parameter as n and then we use a synchronized block. We can use synchronized block by synchronize and then in bracket we write this. Means that this block is a synchronize and then inside the block we just write for I is equals to 1 to I less than equals to 5 I plus plus and then print the value of n up to 5 times and again we call a slip method after for every for loop, then we call the slip thread to slip and after that we continue the for loop and then end of this method. And if any exceptions occur while slipping the thread, then it will be caught as a exception E and it will be printed E. Then we create another class that is my class thread1 which extends the thread. In this we just write table T my thread1 table T. This dot T is equals to T. Inside the constructor we use the parameter table T and assign that T value to this dot T. And then in run method we just call the method print table and write the value 5. After it we just create another thread class which extend the threads and here we provide the value 100 to print table. And in the main method, first of all we create a main method, and then another class for test synchronization block, and inside it we create a main method, and then inside the main method we create the table class object, and then we create the thread class object, and inside the thread class object we provide the param of table class object, and then inside the thread 2 we also provide the param of my thread 2 object, and then we call the t1 dot start and t2 dot start. We just start the both the thread and then save it. Let's execute it. We are already in our file location, so just write javac test synchronization block 1.java for compilation, and hence it compiles successfully. Let's execute it. For execution we just write java test synchronized block. See, it will print the value 5 to 25 and then 100 to 500. So in this way the synchronization block can implement it. Let's see how we can implement the synchronized method. Nothing to do, just write inside the method. We make the method as usual, and then just you write the access modifier before the method name, that is synchronized void printable, and then all the codes, remaining codes will be the same, and just save it and let's execute it. So we are already in our file location, so just write javac test synchronization 2.java, and hence it compiles successfully. Let's execute it. See, it will print the same result as 5 to 25 and 100 to 500. So in this way we can implement the synchronization method in Java. So these are the concept behind the synchronization block and synchronization method in Java. Thank you.